Hello and welcome to Iridium Rock and Metal Reviews, and today I'm going to carry on with the best songs of the year. I'm going to have a little rant quickly. It's not a bad one. I uploaded the 2013 best songs a couple of days ago, and I've noticed the difference between views I'm getting on a video like that and a video that I do of a 80s classic album review, for instance. Like an old 80s band classic album review gets about 6 or 7 times more views than one of these videos, which means to me that either I'm boring talking on these videos or people are just not interested in music that's coming out now. So I just want to say that if you're just you're just into the 80s stuff, and you're not interested in listening to any of the new music that's coming out, you're really missing out, because you know what? Some of it's as good as, if not better than, what was out in the 80s. Honestly, some of the bands now are bringing that 80s sound back, and you're really missing out. So I don't know why people are not interested in music that's coming out now. I think it's some of the best music we're getting at the moment in rock and metal. I know it's not going to be as huge as it was back then in the 80s, but it's as good as some of it. I tell you, it's really, really good, some of this music that's coming out. So it's a shame that my people were not interested in these last few years that I'm talking about, but I'm going to carry on till the end. But it's just weird, because some of the music now, like I said, is great, and you're missing out if you're one of some of them people. Obviously you're not going to be watching this video anyway. But it's something I noticed, that people are not really interested in music coming out now, and it's a shame, because some of these bands and all, they need your support. If I was looking at this channel, if I was a subscriber to this channel, these are the main videos I'll be watching, because I want to know about new music, stuff that I've not heard before. And it's just, that's me. So enough rant over. We're going to go best songs of 2014, and what a great year. I actually had to knock a couple off because I didn't want to talk too long, but I've come up with eight my top tracks. So we're going to go from 8 to 1, the usual. 8 being all of these tracks, obviously my best tracks of the year, and I'm just putting them in, got to like doing worst to best. So number 8, excellent, and this is what I'm talking about brilliant 80s sounding type music, stuff that you guys might not know about. And number 8 is Crazy Licks and Heroes Are Forever, from the Crazy Licks self-titled album. So this wasn't their first album or anything. They've had a few albums out, but like a lot of bands do now, they bring out a self-titled album again. And I think it seems to be because they had a couple of albums before, and then that went off the 80s sort of sound a little bit. Then this came back full force with what they used to sound like, proper 80s stuff, melodic, heavy rock. And Heroes of Forever, you know what, some of their music, could come straight off an 80s soundtrack. It could be used in some of these Netflix shows that are out now at the moment that are always set in the 80s. It'd be brilliant to use some of this music. Crazy Licks are a great band. Check them out, from Sweden, where a lot of the good music's coming from. That's my number 8. My number 7, metal band Primal Fear, and I've chosen a song called One Night in December from their Delivering the Black album. So a great album full of metal songs. Primal Fear, what they do, it's all metal, but they do stuff that's near enough speed metal, like power metal. Then they slow it down to sort of epic metal with some symphonic touches. This is one of them songs. One Night in December is a soaring song, 9-minute epic, brilliant band. I love Primal Fear. If you love a bit of Judas Priest, but you like it with a better singer. I don't know why I said that, because there's so many people going to be having to go at me now. They have got a brilliant singer, though. They've got brilliant musicians all round, really, Primal Fear. 9-minute epic, One Night in December. Check it out. Check out everything the Primal Fear are doing. They've been going for a good 20-odd years now, but they're very consistent. If you like metal, you like Primal Fear. That's my number 7. My number 6, this might be probably the most probably the one that people wouldn't have heard of most in this list, in this list I'm doing now. And that's a band that only had one album out, and that's a band called Night by Night. And an excellent track from an excellent album called Can't Walk Away. Can't Walk Away is the track from the album, self-titled album Night by Night. They're so good, really melodic. If you want to compare them to anything 80s wise, we're talking Def Leppard. We're talking high and dry Def Leppard, the good Def Leppard. This album is full of melody, full of melodic, catchy songs that would have been massive in the 80s. Another 80s sounding sort of band that you guys need to check out. Night by Night, Can't Walk Away. Brilliant song from a brilliant album. My number 5, one of my most favourite artists ever, Michael Sweet, solo album, off of his solo album I'm Not Your Suicide, and the title track. Man, he's knocking it out of the park. Has been for 10 years now. Michael Sweet, his songwriting is superb. The solo stuff is just as good as the Striper stuff. I'm Not Your Suicide is no exception. Brilliant vocalist, brilliant songwriter, brilliant producer, brilliant all-round guy, really. So there you go. That's my number 5. My number 4, Accept. And I've chosen Fall of the Empire from the album Blind Rage. So they're so consistent, Accept now. I love them. I absolutely love them. They have come back with a bang, haven't they? The last 4 or 5 albums. I think it's 4, 5th one just to come out. Mark Tornillo on vocals. I know I go on moaning about people not giving bands a chance from the 80s that have got new members. I don't know if that's the same with Accept. I think people have accepted this singer really well into the band, I believe. But if you haven't, you're missing out, because I actually like them better now than I did back in the 80s. Although they brought out some classic albums in the 80s, they are as good as, if not better, right now. Accept. Fall of the Empire. What a brilliant galloping sort of slow sort of paced sort of song. Epic. Absolutely epic. Brilliant song. My number 3, and Down. And we know him well from the Down 4 EP. And it's the part 2 of the EPs that have been bringing out. Man, Down are such a great band. They haven't brought anything out for so long. I'm a bit disappointed now. This was the last release, I think, from them. Phil Anselmo from Pantera, his other band. Obviously, it's his main band now because Pantera don't exist anymore. But they smash it on these EPs. These EPs are probably my favourite part of their discography. You know, they've sort of slowed down a little bit. They've become a bit more doomy. Still keeping that southern sort of touch to them. We know him well. He's so heavy, but in a weird way, melodic at the same time. Brilliant. I love Down, and I love this song. We know him well at my number 3. My number 2, going back to Sweden again. God, what Sweden are giving us is amazing. And this is what I'm talking about. If anyone's not watching this video, I can't even moan now because they're not watching it. Well, that doesn't even make any sense. If by chance you clicked on this video, you didn't really want to watch it, but you're still here. Heat, Swedish band, amazing band. And I've chosen the Mannequin Show off of Tearing Down the Walls. Their second album with Eric Gromwell. Sadly, Eric Gromwell is not with Heat anymore. I'm just absolutely gutted. I'm pissed off because they're just brilliant with him. He brings so much energy to the band. I'm hoping that they keep the sort of music they've been doing with Eric Gromwell, with the new singer, where he's the old singer that's come back in the band. I'm hoping they keep it going with this sort of music because it's so exciting to listen to. Check out Heat, one of the main Swedish bands around at the moment. I love them. They are absolutely brilliant. The Mannequin Show's my number 2. And moving on to my number 1. A band that has grown and grown and grown on me. Now, I didn't listen to this band when they first came out. Then I listened to one of their albums that was 5 or 6 albums in to their career. Absolutely loved it. Didn't really listen to them again. But I would say over the past year or 2, they've grown and grown on me. And they're one of my favourite bands. And that's Iced Earth. And a song called If I Could See You from their album Plagues of Babylon. Man, Iced Earth are just amazing. They sound so different as well. So they're a metal band, and you could say they're power metal, but they're serious power metal. They're I wouldn't even go to say they are power metal. I don't really know. Probably just metal. They're probably just metal, but they bring something so different. They sound different than any other those bands. They're not cheesy in any way. They're so serious with their music, and it's got such a different. John Schaefer, who's the guitarist songwriter, he just writes some brilliant songs. If I Could See You is like a slow song, but it's got heavy parts, not a heavier ballad. They are one of the most amazing bands around at the moment. They, on an album as well, they do so much different stuff. They're so interesting to listen to, so clever. Iced Earth are brilliant, and If I Could See You definitely deserves the #1 spot. Right, that's it. That's my 8 tracks spoken about. I hope you like my video. I will carry on for the rest of the years, even though no one watches these ones. And we've only got a few more to go. So, was it 15, 16, 17? 5 more years on these. Then I can do the top albums of 2020, even though there weren't that many because of what a crap year it's been because of COVID. And then I can do the top track as well. Might do it at the same time or something. You never know. So, thanks for listening. Please subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, red button. Thank you very much.